Welcome to Headphone News, Montreal edition for Thursday, November 21st, 2024.
Lockout at Fairmont, the Queen Elizabeth Hotel. On November 20, 2024, around 600 unionized workers at Fairmont, the Queen Elizabeth Hotel in Montreal, Quebec, were locked out by management. This decision came after workers rejected a proposal during negotiations. An overwhelming majority voted against the latest offer, with 94% of the general unit and 100% of the reception and janitorial unit saying no. The union, represented by the Fédération du Commerce, expressed concerns about workload and the use of staffing agencies. This situation highlights ongoing tensions in labor relations within Quebec's hospitality sector.
Montreal advocates push against homeless evictions. In Montreal, advocates are urging a stop to the eviction of homeless encampments along Notre Dame Street East. Transport Quebec plans to carry out the eviction on December 1, 2024. Currently, emergency shelters in the city are at full capacity, with around 1,800 spaces available, which will increase to 2,100 on the day of the eviction. Community organizations emphasize that evictions can cause significant trauma and are calling for more support for the homeless population. The Mobile Legal Clinic, representing the homeless, has successfully negotiated a delay for the eviction. This situation underscores the ongoing challenges of homelessness in Montreal.
Montreal's 2025 budget criticized by opposition. On November 20, 2024, Montreal's administration unveiled the 2025 budget, totaling $7.28 billion. This budget marks a 4% increase in spending compared to last year. Alan D'Souza, spokesperson for the official opposition, criticized the budget for raising taxes by 38% since 2017, which is significantly higher than the inflation rate of 25%. This increase means an additional cost of about $1,384 for each resident. Concerns were raised about the city's growing debt and its potential impact on future generations. The budget also includes over 3,500 new municipal employees, with a significant rise in management positions compared to blue-collar workers. Only 0.1% of the budget is set aside to tackle homelessness and housing issues. Tax increases for non-residential properties were also noted, with St. Laurent seeing a 7.7% rise and Lachine facing a 9.6% increase.
Road closure near Champlain Bridge this weekend. The Transport Ministry of Quebec has announced a road closure near the Champlain Bridge in Brossard, Quebec, for this weekend. The closure will impact Route 132 and the Autoroute 10 interchange due to concrete work on the overpass. Ramps from Marie-Victorin Boulevard heading towards Highway 10 will close in both directions starting Friday at 10 p.m. and will reopen Monday at 5 a.m. Detour routes will be clearly marked to help drivers navigate around the area. This construction is part of ongoing efforts to improve infrastructure and enhance safety and traffic flow for commuters.
Quebec government issues order affecting optometrists. Quebec government has issued a ministerial order to stop optometrists from leaving the public health system. This decision comes after lengthy negotiations between the Quebec Health Ministry and the Association of Quebec Optometrists, which represents about 1,500 members. The order will take effect on a Thursday and will last for 6 months with a chance for renewal. The aim is to ensure the quality and availability of medical services. Health Minister Christian Dubé stated that the government wants to maintain high standards of care. Dr. Fortin, president of the Association of Quebec Optometrists, criticized the order, arguing that it infringes on the rights of optometrists. The association plans to challenge this decision in court. Many optometrists feel frustrated as their compensation has not kept up with rising costs. This situation raises concerns about the future of eye care services in Quebec, especially since optometrists are crucial in treating around 180,000 eye emergencies each year.
Chrono Aviation cancels flights from Iqaluit to Montreal. Chrono Aviation has cancelled its flight route from Iqaluit, the capital of Nunavut, Canada, to Montreal, Quebec. This cancellation will take effect on December 1, 2024. The airline started the route in August but encountered difficulties in obtaining a larger aircraft necessary for the service. The smaller planes currently in use do not provide enough seats to meet demand. The one-way ticket price was $699. Affected customers will receive full refunds. This decision raises concerns about limited travel options in the north, where competition among airlines is minimal.
REM service interruption this weekend. The Metropolitan Express Network, or REM, will suspend light rail train service between Montreal and Brossard in Quebec, Canada, this weekend. The service interruption starts on Friday, November 22, at 11 p.m. and lasts until Monday, November 25. This pause is essential for maintenance work to keep the transit system safe and reliable. Shuttle buses will be available for users during this period. Travelers should plan ahead and take advantage of the shuttle services.
Calls for school bus safety after tragic death. A tragic event in Toronto, Ontario, has sparked demands for improved school bus safety. Rachel Turner, a 22-year-old woman, was hit by a school bus while crossing the street on October 9th. She passed away 3 days later due to her injuries. Her family is calling on the government to adopt safety measures suggested by a federal task force in 2019 and 2020, which include adding sensors and cameras to school buses. In Rachel's memory, her family established the Rachel Turner Legacy Fund, raising over $153,000 to support young people and provide crisis counseling. This incident underscores the critical need for enhanced safety measures to protect pedestrians.
Holiday fundraiser for local Humane Society. The Humane Society of Kitchener-Waterloo and Stratford-Perth in Ontario, Canada, has kicked off its biggest annual fundraiser, called A Season of Second Chances, Hope for the Holidays. This campaign seeks to raise money and gather gifts to support animals in recovery and help them find forever homes. Community members are invited to get involved by adopting pets, making donations online, or volunteering their time. With the ongoing Canada Post strike, online donations are especially crucial to ensure that gifts reach the animals promptly. This campaign highlights the importance of community support during the holiday season.
Standoff in Barrie, Ontario ends peacefully. A standoff took place in Barrie, Ontario, Canada, involving an armed man inside a recreational vehicle. The incident began when police received reports of a man with a firearm. Officers made contact with the individual, who discharged a weapon but did not injure anyone. Nearby homes and businesses were evacuated as a tactical team, and crisis negotiators worked to resolve the situation. After approximately 14 hours, the man surrendered peacefully early on November 21st. Authorities found several explosive devices inside the RV, all of which were safely removed. This event raises important questions about public safety and crisis management.
Poll reveals speeding habits of Canadians. A new poll from the Canadian Automobile Association reveals that many Canadians admit to speeding. Nearly 70% of drivers say they have exceeded the speed limit in residential areas over the past year. Half of the respondents report regularly speeding on highways, while 40% admit to running red lights. In Toronto, city officials plan to increase the number of automated speed cameras from 75 to 150 to help curb speeding. These results underscore the urgent need for improved road safety measures across Canada.
Quebec's Indigenous Education Report highlights gaps. A new report from Quebec's Auditor General reveals significant issues in Indigenous education. The findings indicate that Quebec has not made meaningful improvements in nearly 20 years. Statistics show that over 31% of Indigenous individuals aged 24 to 35 lack a diploma or certificate, compared to just 9% of non-Indigenous individuals. The report criticizes the Quebec Ministry of Education for not establishing goals for the success of Indigenous students. Dennis Grow-Lewis, head of the First Nations Education Council, highlights that many Indigenous students encounter systemic barriers when transitioning to the public education system. The report emphasizes the need for urgent action to tackle these challenges and enhance educational outcomes for Indigenous students in Quebec.
Quebec government to extend health coverage for Ukrainian refugees. The Quebec government is taking steps to extend healthcare coverage for Ukrainian refugees, as the current coverage is set to expire in March 2025. Health Minister Dubé emphasized that the government will not abandon these refugees. Discussions with the federal government are ongoing to find a solution. In August 2022, many refugees received notices about losing their health coverage, despite their work permits being extended until 2027. Since the conflict began, around 300,000 Ukrainians have arrived in Canada, with 30,000 settling in Quebec, including 25,000 in Montreal. Michael Schweck, president of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress, called for continued support for these individuals. Children living in Quebec will continue to receive health coverage through the Régie de l'Assurance Maladie du Québec, regardless of their parents' immigration status.
Recommendations for increasing French language courses in Quebec's English language institutions. A recent report from French language commissioner Benoit Dubreuil highlights the need for more French language courses in English language colleges and universities in Quebec, Canada. Currently, more than 22.4% of students are studying in English, a figure Dubreuil considers too high. The report proposes a target of 85% French language instruction in higher education. Key recommendations include increasing the availability of French language courses in English institutions and capping enrollment in English language cégeps, as outlined in Bill 96. The goal is to enhance the use of French and strengthen cultural identity in Quebec.
Montreal event celebrates blood donors. A special event was held in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, to honor blood donors. The Humane Quebec recognition soirée recognized the contributions of over 1,700 donors. Kaylee, a 27-year-old blood cancer survivor, shared her inspiring story. She explained how blood donations were crucial during her treatment for acute lymphoblastic lymphoma. Kaylee highlighted the importance of donating blood, stating that it saves lives. Humane Quebec collects blood to meet the needs of patients, with someone requiring blood every 80 seconds in Quebec. This event aimed to raise awareness about the ongoing need for blood donations in the community.
That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's headphone news. News summary brought to you by AI.